What's up, you Titans fan? The Titan Bros are back, and we got an exciting or depressing video. Depends on how this goes. We're going to do some live communications because, I really haven't stopped and thought about what the Titans' record will be at the end of this season. We're about to do that in this video, and the way we're going to do it is we're literally just going to go one game at a time. We're not going to try to spend too much time on each video because there's 17 games, or on each game because there's 17 games, but we're going to go through and kind of discuss it briefly and see winner. We'll put a winner or lose and see where we end up. So I guess that's all we got. We're getting ready to jump right on into this video. Once again, I am Gabriel. This is my brother Josiah, coming at you with some fun Titans content because the season is less than a week away.
Yep, very exciting. I would say I feel like I actually haven't done this yet, just week by week. Like I can look at my roster and I'm like, ugh, this is 9-8 team or whatever. But technically, I haven't put it up yet to each week by week by week. So again, this is live us doing this. So I have in my head where I think it would be, but it could be different than actually what our schedule says. Because I thought that we had an easier schedule. So I heard. So maybe I could give us some extra wins here. We'll see.
Right. So we might as well hop on in here officially. Now, I'm not going to take much time on this because here in a couple days, we're going to put a preview out.
True.
About the Saints. We're going to do the deep dive into the Saints. All off season long, I've kind of been leaning towards we're going to lose. I don't know why. I feel like, technically there's not that much evidence to support it. I don't know why I feel like Titans love losing week one. Now, we do have a 2-game lose streak on week ones going on with Cardinals in 2021, Giants in 2022. So this would be 3 in a row. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But I've kind of changed my tune because Alvin Kamara is out. So they're not going to have much, if any, rushing game. And he's more than just a rusher. He's obviously a threat in the passing game as well. So Michael Thomas, 30 years old. Now, Chris Olave could be a problem. And Derek Carr is definitely an improvement over anything they had last year at quarterback. Always got to keep an eye on Taysom Hill. And their defense is tough. I almost convinced myself to say we're going to lose. But I'm just going to say because Derek Carr he's the first year in this system, new team, first time he's had a new team since, coming out of college. I'm going to say Titans win it ugly. I'm going to start us off with a dub.
I say we're going to start off with an ugly lose. I think it's both
ugly.
Teams. What?
Did you say ugly lose?
Yeah. Well, actually, okay. Ugly game. Like it's going to be low scoring, but we lose. Not ugly lose like we lose 50-7. But it's going to be an ugly game, defensive game. We lose barely. I think both teams got a better defense than offense, but it's tough to play in New Orleans. I think we start off slow because I blame Mike Vrabel for this, but Ryan Tannehill doesn't get any practice, in games in preseason. Derrick Henry doesn't either. Our offensive line still trying to figure stuff out. I just think so. We'll come out a little rusty. Again, it's in New Orleans. I think it's going to be a defensive game, low-scoring game, but I'm going to give the edge to the home team here.
Sadly, now that I think about it, the only time we've actually ever started off with a whole bunch of points in week one under Mike Vrabel was Mike Vrabel's rookie season when we destroyed the Browns.
Yeah,
with Marcus Mariota of all people. Well, actually, I'm lying. That's his second year. 2018 is the 7-hour game against the Dolphins. And we lost. We only scored like 20-ish points. Then we stomped the Browns. Then after that, we barely eked by against the Broncos with 16 points, I think is what we scored. Then we only scored 13 against the Cardinals. And then we scored only 20 against the Giants.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. All right, you want to go ahead? So you guys going 0-1. I guys going 1-0. So go ahead with your next game.
All right, next game, week 2. Chargers comes into town, and we play them at 1 o'clock on Sunday. I say, I would love. There's a stat out there. Teams that go 0-2, majorly does not make the playoffs. I don't remember what it was, and I just saw it not too long ago. But it was a scary rate. Like only 20% of teams make the playoffs after going 0-2. But we're going 0-2. I think Chargers going in Nashville. I hate to say it, but we don't have a great home field advantage like all teams. That always bugs me. Maybe this new stadium will help. I don't know. But I say Chargers, sadly, Justin Herbert. I think the defense is going to be healthy. That wasn't healthy last year. They're going to be pretty decent. Justin Herbert's always good. They come in and take care of business. I got Titans 0-2.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. For me, the Chargers can beat any team. They can also get beat by any team. And there's a toss-up between the Saints and Titans in week 1. And I give it to the Titans. So I'm going to just say this is a toss-up as well and just say we get beat by the Chargers. Now, I could see us starting 2-0. I could also see us starting 0-2. So I'm going to say Chargers are going to get us, because Chargers throw the ball a crap ton. They got tons of weapons at wide receiver. Of course, Austin Ekeler is good in the backfield and running or catching out of the backfield. And they also just got Quentin Johnston in the first round at wide receiver, and they already had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, if he's still any good. I think he's still solid. I think he's still one of the best route runners, which route running age as well. So I'm going to say we fall. I'm going to say we fall there.
Okay, so you got 1-1. I got 0-2.
Yep, 1-1, 0-2. So Cleveland. At Cleveland, so it's an away game. Oh, gosh. I'm going to say we win that, because Deshaun Watson was not good at all last year. I think he'll get back to former glory in a lot of ways, maybe not fully back like he used to be.
We better hope not.
We better hope not. But us facing him in week 3 could be an advantage for us. So I am going to go ahead and say we eke out that dub, like a 27-24 kind of deal, and I'll say we get that. So we're sitting at 2-1 right now.
I can majorly talk myself into losing this game.
Same.
And a lot of stuff says that we should lose this game. But I just refuse to think Mike Vrabel will go 0-3. But I think Deshaun Watson is someone that I fully expect to have a comeback year, because he would miss so much time. And I think it's unrealistic for anyone to think it'll look like old Deshaun Watson last year. I think he's going to bounce back and be a good quarterback. He has a great running game. He has some good weapons. He has, I think a good offense. That defense is loaded. I don't know how we're going to win it, but I'm just going to say Mike Vrabel is going to do a Mike Vrabel special and somehow eke out an ugly win. Maybe be a fumble the Browns do that was bad timing for them that helps us get a win. I don't know what it is, but I would think the Titans refuse to go 0-3 here, and I say we're going to win that. Somehow we'll get a win.
Yeah, on the plus side is Deshaun Watson has not really played good quarterback play since 2020. Because then he set out the whole 2021 season. Then he got suspended for half the 2022 season and did not play well. So he has not actually played good football since 2020. So here's to hoping. Is it me?
Okay, so week 4, we got the Cincinnati Bengals going to Nashville. Well, wow, I got us losing both our first 2 home games, but it will not be Joe Burrow. He should definitely be healthy by then, because he's questionable for week 1. So by week 4, he's going to be healthy. He's going to come in, most likely Chase and T. Higgins and Travis Boyd and all those people are going to be healthy. They'll go. Our defense is good, but it's not that good. And I say they're going to beat us, and we're going to drop 1-3.
I could talk myself into saying we win that, because Joe Burrow's beaten us every single year in the NFL. He beat us in week 1. Or not week 1, season 1. He beat us in the playoffs in 2021. He beat us in his rookie season in 2020, I believe. Beat us in 2021 in the playoffs. In 2022, which was last year, they beat us in a low-scoring game as well. So I could say, we're finally eventually going to beat them. But then another part of me says, and they do start off slow. Like Joe Burrow, remember, he was throwing an ignorant amount of picks at the beginning of last year. But then he just snapped out of that, and everybody kind of forgot about it. So I love being a positive Polly, but I got to give us the L on that one. Expecting us to beat the Browns and the Bengals back to back, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll say we take the loss. We drop to 2-2.
You guys 2-2. I got us 1-3. So what you got for us?
After that, we are going to Indy, and I think because the team can't fall 2-3, and with what happens next week, 2-4, I say I'm not sold. Now he might end up being good. He might be, and I might eat these words. I'm just not sold on Anthony Richardson, and he's so young. He should have stayed in college one more year, in my humble opinion. So I feel like we're going to go up to Indy, and we're going to get that dub, because even if he does turn out to be good, it's probably going to come midway or later in the season. So us facing him in week 5, I think he's not quite going to be up to potential yet, and we're gonna come away with a dub. So 3-2.
I say we're gonna go in Indianapolis and get our first win here. I think Richardson. I don't know if because I'm not gonna even say that he's going to get good at throwing. I don't know how his NFL career is going to go, but I just have a feeling he's going to run for a crazy amount of yards. That guy's super athletic. He can make great runs. So I just feel like he's going to get some wins by just running for 150 yards and a touchdown. But not this week. I say we're going to win, and we're going to go 2-3.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You're correct in saying that. But he also, remember, Jonathan Taylor's not going to be there for that game. Even if he stays on the team, I think he's going to miss the first 4 games, they said. Wait, actually, he could return for that week then. So disregard that. If he comes in week 5, that might be his first week back. So who knows? Maybe he'll come in and spank us.
Next week in London, which I hate. A lot of people like those games in London. No, I'm not about that. What's that? 9:30. I don't want to do that. But anyway, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson. That's what it comes in town, because technically it's a home game, but it's not. And I hate to say it, but I got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beating Titans.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree. Because Lamar Jackson only plays about 10 games anymore, but it's the first 10 that he usually plays, so he'll be fine. He'll be healthy. I think they beat us. We fall to 3-3. And we go into our bye week thinking, what are we going to do? 3-3.
You got us 3-3 at bye. I got us 2-4 at bye.
Let me put it this way. I hope we're 3-3 in the bye.
Actually, I'll say this. Realistically, looking at that schedule, I'll be happy with 3-3 at bye. Anyway,
yeah, I agree. Well, I'm looking at the schedule. I could see us being 1-5, but also if I want to be positive, like I said, the Bengals do start slow. Chargers do like to lose for no reason. Deshaun Watson hasn't played good since 2020, so I could also talk myself into saying, "Oh, we'll be 5-1," but I'm going to say 3-3. Bye week happens, then we come out and at home against the Falcons. I think we beat the Falcons. I just don't think they're there yet. I don't think they have a quarterback. I don't think their defense is great either.
I'll say this: they have a couple weapons. What was the receiver they had last year?
Drake London. They also got Kyle Pitts, and they did bring in Jonnu Smith as well.
They have Jonnu Smith, and there's Corda Patterson. You can do some stuff with him. They have a decent amount of. They have some weapons, but they're not there yet. Like you said, we are coming off a bye. It's in Nashville. I got a win there for us.
So I got 4-3, and you're 3-4.
Mm-hmm. This next game is going to be interesting because me and Gabriel will be there to watch live Tennessee Titans at Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's the difference between me and Gabriel, though, and I hate them in such a good division because I am so close. I'm thinking Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be my surprise team. I think that team's good. I actually believe in Kenny Pickett. I like his weapons enough, and I love the defense. So I'm going to say we are not going to go to Pittsburgh and get a win, though. So my first ever NFL game watching live is going to be a lose, is what I got.
Okay, so what do you got us at now?
3-5.
Ew. I think we go in and get the Steelers. I think we go in there and take care of business. I think we jump up to 5-3.
If there's any game this year that I want us to surprise me and win, it's going to be that one, because you got to admit, driving home from the stadium is going to be much funner with a win under our belt.
I agree, because the one time I did leave that Steelers stadium was with an ugly L.
Yeah, that was an ugly game too.
Was not great. So I got us at 5-3. And then we go on down to Tampa Bay. And I think the Bucs are going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. I don't see how we can lose that. Of course, then again, Titans like their surprise lose every year where we lose a game we have no business losing. But I say we go in there and we just take care of business and we beat those Bucs. So I guess it's 6-3. I didn't think I was going to be this positive.
I will say I do agree. Tampa Bay, I'm not a huge believer in them. I think they have just enough talent to be dangerous. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I think Baker Mayfield's decent. I don't know if he's great, but he's decent. I think they have just enough weapons that if we wanted to, this could be one of those games that we underestimated them. They beat us. But in my record, we're going into that game 3-5. So I don't think that has the making us overlooking any team at 3-5. So in my I think they'll come in, they'll take care of business. We'll be 4-5.
4-5, 6-3.
With what you got for us, then this is a perfect game for us to do a stupid lose, because we would go in there with some wins, a decent record. We could lose that game because it's in Tampa Bay, but
Right.
we both got to win there. Anyway.
And then we stay on the road. Or is this your turn? Yes, it's your turn.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the next week, we're staying in Florida, and we're on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got a big L there because I think, sadly, the Jaguars are this close from being a top team in the AFC. I don't think they're quite there yet, but I think they're close. It's in Jacksonville, so I'm going to say a lose, though.
Yeah, I like to be a positive Polly, as you know, but we're going to Jacksonville. We just had a nice 3-game win streak going to Jacksonville. I think we take that little winning streak to the end. We drop from 6-3 to 6-4 to the Jags. But then we go home, and Carolina comes to town. And Carolina's, if they finish over 500, I'll be amazed. I just don't see it. I mean, obviously, Bryce Young could just surprise the world and be one of the best rookies ever to play. And I think he might be good, but that just big, monstrous front seven of ours, I feel like we're just going to eat them.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, so I think we're going to get up to 7-4.
I agree. I think we win that game. I think it's I like Bryce Young a lot in college. My thing with him, I don't think anything he lacks anything in talent-wise. It's just he's a very small guy. That's the biggest deal. The Panthers have a horrible offensive line. I agree with you. I think we're going to eat all day, and we're going to destroy that little dude. And I think we're going to get a dub there. So I got us at 5-6.
I got 7-4.
I like yours better.
Me too.
All right.
I highly doubt this is going to happen. I hope it does, but I don't think. Don't see us being 7.
You don't say that on camera.
Like as I'm saying this, I'm like, holy cow! If we could be 7-4, that'd be amazing. That's never gonna happen. But
hey, I think I'm next.
Yeah.
All right, so next game, we got the Colts coming into town to beat us. Here's a shocker. I'm gonna say they're gonna beat us here. I got us beat them in Indianapolis, but I think they're gonna come here. Richardson's going to make just enough plays, and we're going to lose that one. That's going to be my game. I think that we lost that, and we're going to be thinking, why did we just lose that?
Gotcha. Well, as a shock to no one, I'm going to say we actually win this one because I think the Colts are going to be bottom feeders, not just in our division. I think in the whole NFL.
I would say this. It's difficult to sweep teams, so you guys sweeping them.
It is, but even in Titans' bad years, like in the Malarkey years where we were just 9-7, we'd go 5-1 in the division all the time. Like, for whatever reason, we've just always been good in our division. Usually we sweep the Jags, split with the Colts, sweep the Texans. A lot of times that's what we do. A lot of times, not always. Or sometimes we'll sweep the Jags and then split with the Colts and the Texans for like a 4-2. But anyway, so I say we sweep them. So what are we now at, 8-4?
You're 8-4, I'm 5-7.
How about that? All right.
That's a difference right there.
Yeah, it is a huge difference. But then after that, at Miami.
We get all the Florida teams.
We do. And I've been throwing a lot of 50s our way. I just feel like our cornerbacks are not fast enough.
They're going to get smoked by the
Yeah, they're not fast enough to keep up with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
And I really like the Dolphins' defense, so I think we're going to have a hard time scoring ourselves.
Yeah, because I think at that point, Jalen Ramsey should be back. Because I think he's missing like 6 or 8 weeks, but he should be back.
And I know he was a terrible head coach, but I like Vic how do you pronounce his name?
Vic Fangio.
Yeah, I liked him as a defense coordinator. I think Dolphins will be really good this year. I got, just to make it short, a big L for us, though.
Yeah, so I got us at 8-5.
What is that? Yeah, so I got us 5-8. So.
Yeah, yours looks awful, man. Alrighty, now versus Texans. Is that your turn though?
Yeah. So the next game for us is,
Texans at
like
home.
I said, Houston Texans at home. I got a win though. I think we should take care of business at this time. We're in desperation mode. They come to Nashville. We take care of business. I think they do have some talent. Again, not much. Like they're still not there, but I like with the offseason. But And I like Pills. He was a quietly good running back last year, but we take care of business.
Yeah. I got us winning that one as well. So we're jumping up 9-5. It's nice home game against Texans, who again I agree with you, not there. And even though I wanted C.J. Stroud so bad for the Titans, he was unbelievably underwhelming in preseason. Preseason's not everything, but I'll say we'll get a dub there at 9-5. But after that, Seattle. Oof. I have a bad feeling we might lose to Seattle. Because Jackson Smith and Jigma will really start to get in the groove. They've obviously got DK Metcalf, which again, I don't think we have any cornerback who's going to be able to keep up too well with old DK Metcalf. I don't know. I got a bad feeling on that one. I say we take a loss to the Seattle Seahawks, and we fall to 9-6.
See, I got us winning that one. If it was in Seattle, I would say lose because I think Seahawks are a pretty solid team. But I think we'll take care of business at home. I think at this point in my thing, we got to take care of business. But I'm going to say we do just enough to win that game. So I got a 7-8. My next. Sorry. My bad. All right, so we go to Houston to play the Texans now. I like the Texans, and boy, could that be one of those teams that we lose, and you're like, why? But here's the thing. We don't typically lose those games to knock us out of the playoff race. Because with my record, what I think we're going to be, it's if we lose this, we're out of I don't think we'll do that. Vrabel's going to have us focused for that game, and I say we're going to win in Houston.
You got us at 8-8?
I got us at 8-8.
I had us at 9-6, right?
Yeah.
Here's where I think I saved this for a certain time.
This is gonna be it for you.
This is gonna be it. Because I think every year with Mike Vrabel's head coach, we have lost a game to a bad team, bottom feeder team that we have just no business getting beat by. And a lot of times it's in the most inopportune times. And I feel like this is going to be it. Like we could put a stranglehold on the division at 9-6. We could win it and go 10-6. But I think we choke it away and we fall to 9-7.
So, am I next?
I think I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I am. It's 9-7. So basically, it's looking like, and I didn't do this on purpose because I just did this live on air, not on air, but it's coming down to Jacksonville Jaguars.
I know I just feel in my bones that's what's going to be. It'll go down to this game.
Because I was looking, unless the Jags end up with like 11 wins, looks like you're basically predicting the same thing. It's a win and in. Yeah. Only one team in the AFC South goes. It's a win and in. I got at 9-6, just like last year. At 9-6, Derrick Henry is going to eat some Jags. He's going to feast on some Jaguars.
He typically does well. He did not do well last year.
Actually, one of the games he did well. The first one, I think he had like 100 yards.
But I meant we lost. The game that we lost. We lost both of them actually. But I meant the second one, win and end game. He did not do well. But he typically does do well against Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll give you that. But I got the opposite.
We guys going 10-7.
Sorry, did I interrupt you?
They didn't let me get. I was talking about him feasting on jag meat, and you didn't let me finish.
This is the difference between me and my brother. He's a optimistic fan, and I'm more of a glass is half empty fan. I know we don't show up when we need to, and I just think the Jags are a better team. And I say the Jags are going to beat us there again, because at the end of the day, it's going to be everything pushed aside the whole season. It's winning in. It's almost basically a playoff game. And I hate to say it, what do you look for to win this game if you have to pick? Even if you're not a Titan or Jag fan, you go, who's the best coach? I think that goes to Jags. Who's the best quarterback? That definitely goes to Jags. Usually those two things, if you have that, you win the game more often than not. I think they have both of the most important things. And I love the receiving core better than ours. I think we have a better running back. I'll say that. And probably a better defense if healthy at this point in time. That's the problem because this is week 17. So I just say we will find a way to lose. Just like last year. Joshua Dobbs, we was winning the whole game and just fumbled the last second. We'll find a way to lose this game. I think it'll be a close one, but I got it going 8-9, which is basically what I said before I did week by week.
Ew. So you just basically think we're just not a good team.
8-9, 9-8 is what I said we won't be. I said 8-9, and we could win that last game. Either way, I think you agree. If it was us or Jags who win this game, we'll lose the first week of playoffs. Whoever it is. But yeah, I just like the Jags a little bit better than us.
I'm just not sure if I agree with you on that one. First of all, we have a better defense than the Jags. We got a better defense than the Jags. We have a real solid shot at having a top 5, easily top 10, and maybe top 5 defense if we're healthy. So far, Trevor Lawrence had a horrible rookie season and a solid second year. So I'm not ready to say he's elite yet. I know everybody likes the hot takes, jumping on the wagon, because that's kind of the way you want to do it. After a solid second season, people love to jump on the wagon, just like they're doing with Justin Fields, saying, "Oh, in the third year they're going to be amazing, top 10 quarterback."
I'm not sure why, because I've still
I don't think anybody gets
to see that.
I agree. I don't think anybody gets more love in the national media than Justin Fields, who's won 5 games in 2 seasons. So, anyways, so Trevor Lawrence, he still might be. He might be elite. He really came on at the end of the season, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm there yet. Wide running back, obviously, we have way better running back than they do. Running game, they have a better offensive line. So it's going to come down a lot of ways to receivers, but we have Calvin Ridley, who's now almost 30, who missed all of last season. And he's technically, I think he's only had 1 elite season. So I would take D-Hop over Calvin Ridley. And then it comes down, do you want Christian Kirk or do you want Treylon Burks? Which, again, Christian Kirk's honestly had only 1 good season. Now, of course, Treylon Burks hasn't had any. But Christian Kirk's...
That's bold of you to think Burks going to be healthy for that game.
I mean, he's kind of in and out. So, it's kind of 50-50.
It could be in that time. He could be out. Listen, I'm not saying it's going to be ugly at all. And it is in Nashville. That helps. But so was last time. But again, I just go with I don't like, but I mean Doug Peterson, I think he'll call up the right plays. I think he's a great coach, and I think him and Trevor Siemian.
Who's Trevor Siemian? Oh, that's the old Broncos guy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, wow.
Actually, he was a Titan for part of an off season.
Oh, he wasn't the. Yes,
he didn't beat out Logan Woodside, right?
Yeah. Okay, so Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, I think they was really good finding themselves throughout last year, and they got on the same page, and that's when they went off. And I just feel like
2 of those wins were against the Titans' third-string defenses.
And I was, man, I'll say this though, things so much can change. By the time we get to this game next year, you could be correct. You'd be like at this point, like, okay, we have another year on tape. Trevor Lawrence's 18 touchdowns and 12 picks, and you're like, you could be correct, and I could be eating these roads, or Trevor Lawrence could be going into this game 28 touchdowns and 9 picks or something, and you're like, I'm correct. So a lot could change here. I don't think I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think, again, I just feel like this is the Jags division right now, and I don't think we're going to take it. In my humble opinion. Could be wrong, but again, I hate to say this. You are correct. We have a better defense, but it's sad to say it is not a bad defense. Now, if you have the right coach and right quarterback, they can beat all day, every day, a good defense. That's just how the NFL is made now. I hate to say it, but that's just how the NFL is now.
Even in December? Even in January?
Does that stop Mahomes? Mahomes does his best eating during December and January.
Well, let's be honest. Mahomes is
not
year 7, but he's a Hall of Famer. Like, unless he just were to I don't even know what happened, lose an arm in a car accident, which I hope that'll happen. Unless something like that were to happen, and even still, he might even be a Hall of Famer already.
Yeah, I agree, but I would say this: with people not asking me to be back on anymore, they're just gonna let you. Because most time people wants to watch this.
Yeah, you forgot. You accidentally put on your Titans hat instead of your Jags hat. You darn fool.
Hey, I've
like you're just over there talking, wearing your Titans hat. You're just over there going, Jaguars. They got that head coach. They got that quarterback, receivers.
They do.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I was never more upset than the Jets for winning that one stupid game they shouldn't have won, which would have made it where they had the number 1 overall pick and would have drafted Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. I'll never forget the Jets for that. Now here they are having to trade everything in the world for Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers and
I'll say this. Jags sadly are building it the right way. You have to agree with this. We got a defensive coach.
I have to.
Yeah, well, because I know we've talked before. We got a defensive coach with an in quarterback. That's what defensive coordinators love to do: get that fill-in quarterback and make a good defense. But those don't win Super Bowls anymore. Jags got themselves a great offensive mind of a coach, and I think the future quarterback with some good receivers, good offensive line. They're doing it the right way. We are doing it the '90s way.
I have to disagree with you on that one.
What's there to disagree on?
Because if you get a defensive-minded head coach, means your defense is just basically always going to be good, and then get yourself an elite quarterback. Tannehill's not it, by the way. But get yourself an elite quarterback, and you're just as good, because that's what Tom Brady and Bill Belichick did for 20 years.
I agree,
and that's what the Bills are doing with Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. Get your elite quarterback, get your defensive head coach who's going to have the whole defense always playing top-notch.
I agree with you. Like, that makes sense what you said. But for some reason, defensive head coaches are so comfortable with a game manager quarterback. That's what they love to do. Let's get ourselves a great defense and someone that can manage the heck out of the game, and we can go to the playoffs every year and just be That's what they love to do. But you're right. When they get a Tom Brady and Josh Allen, a lot of times it works well. But a lot of times they're just completely content with it. Ryan Tannehill and stuff like that.
I have to disagree, because head coaches, unless they are the Patriots, head coaches don't draft quarterbacks or coach them. That's up to the general manager. So I have to disagree with you on that, you little Jags fan. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, by the time week 17 comes around, we might be, according to you, we might be 5-11 at that point. So it doesn't even matter about week 17 or game 17, week 18.
I'll say this. It is hard to predict a game this far in advance for both sides, especially us, because we have to get hooked. So who knows what the situation will be like. But I think we both agree. Some reason we can feel it in our bones. The division's going to be up in the air till that last week.
That's because that's the way it's been every single season for the last bazillion years. In 2016, I'll just real quickly run through this and then we'll end this video. But 2016, it came down to that was the year Mariota hurt his ankle, or nope, broke his leg / ankle, whatever it was. And then technically, Matt Castle won us week 17, or the last game of the season that we needed to win, but then the Bengals missed that field goal that they should have hit, and that took us out of the playoffs. 2018 was a winner in, and then Mariota had the stinger, couldn't play. 2019, no, 27. I forgot 27 for some reason. 2017, it was a win in against the Jaguars. We won, got in. 2018 was a win in against the Colts, but that's when he had the stinger and they had to sit out. And Blaine Gabbert threw the game away. 2019. That was a win and get in against the Texans, right?
I don't know.
Remember we had that deep bomb to A.J. Brown. Anyways, I think that was that was 2021. Anyways, what happened 2020? Do you remember? I think 2020 we just comfortably won it. 2021, it was actually not for the division, it was for the number 1 seed. And then 2022, it was winning in for the division. So basically, it comes down to the last week of the season almost every single year. So. And I think this year will be no different. Okay, Got anything else you want to say? You want to give a shout out to the Jag Nation before we end this video?
Hey, Titans, prove me wrong. Win some of these games. Because I will say this. Us being different. You on the 50-50 games almost always went to Titans. Me on the 50-50 games almost always went not the Titans.
I have to disagree on that one.
Things can change. So prove me wrong, Titans. Those tough games, go out there and get a win. I don't believe in you, but prove me wrong.
You're really good at getting them views on this channel, buddy. Anyways, I guess that's all we got. Titan Bros are signing out. We'll talk to you in a couple of days, give you a little preview of how I think we're going to beat the Saints, and he'll give us a little preview on how he thinks the Saints are going to beat us like a drum. So I guess that's all we got. Titans Bros are signing out. Peace.